Welcome to the Death by Disney podcast. I'm your host, Adam, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite movies of all time, to be honest, and one of my favorite genres of all time, which is the talking animal movie, and I think that this is the movie that started it all. Today we're talking about 1993's talking animal adventure, the incredible, no, Homeward Bound, the Incredible Journey is the actual title of it. If you don't know this film, here is the synopsis. It's a fun-loving American bulldog pup, a hilarious Himalayan cat, and a wise old golden retriever embark on a long trek through the rugged wilderness of the Sierra Nevada mountains in a quest to reach their home and their beloved owners. And it stars the great Michael J. Fox, the equally great Sally Field, and Don Amesh, who I don't think I've seen in anything else or heard in anything else. Here is my review. I already spoiled it for you that I really like this film. Here's why. I recently watched the original version of this movie called The Incredible Journey, and while certain aspects of both films are similar, the big improvement is that the animals can actually talk in this one, and we know what is going on in their brains. Not that the first movie is bad in any way, because it isn't. It's just a totally different kind of movie. This movie is the best talking animal movie of all time. Yes, yes, it is. Do you have a very obscure genre of movie that you really like and you don't have any rational reason for liking it? My obscure movie genre is the genre of talking animals. I just love them, and this is the greatest example of why these movies are fun, in my opinion. Michael J. Fox does the voice of Chance in a charming and affable way, as is usual with most of his roles, and Sally Field is great and sassy as the cat Sassy. The writing of the movie is great, and some of the lines that Chance says are really profound. The movie doesn't make a lot of sense if you examine it too closely. For example, why can a cat and two dogs communicate, but other animals such as raccoons and mountain lions and bears lack the ability to communicate with each other? But this is not a movie that you really need to examine and look for realism. It's just a folktale of some talking animals who have a big adventure and learn a big lesson about life. I would recommend it to anyone, and I think even if you don't like talking animal movies, you'll find something great in this film. So I like to make this podcast a little bit educational, so I give you some trivia connected to the movie that I'm talking about. And there's actually, if you go to the internet IMDb page for this, there's a lot of great explanations about how they actually achieved the shots. So in the movie, it looks like the animals are put in danger, but this one, they did it in a very responsible way. The animals were trained to perform the stunts that they did. The stunts actually were not that dangerous. And why this is highlighted so strongly is because the first movie that this is a reboot of doesn't really have that documentation that they were treating the animals nice, which actually makes the movie a bit problematic and makes me personally and other animal lovers, I would imagine, less able to enjoy it. Okay, and now I usually give you a good review and a bad review about from other people, and I kind of interact with that just to make this podcast fair and balanced criticism. So let's start with the negative review. 1 out of 10, horrible, an animal movie without animals. This movie is a remake of the 1963 original, which was based on a popular children's book, The Incredible Journal. The story concerns two dogs and a cat which leave a temporary boarding home and journey through a wilderness to their family home. The contrast between the original and this remake illustrates the change from viewing animals as animals and viewing them as funny shaped people. The original had a narrator who filled in on the animal's motivations as needed. The events of the story, while implausible for a single set of animals in a small time span, were each individually reasonable. In the remake, the animals talk. Spoiler, animals can't talk. They reason and act like humans. Many of their actions are implausible. This is a good movie for children if you want an expanded cartoon-like fantasy world, but if you want a world about real creatures worthy of the love and respect we give our pets, stick to the original, and that's from Spokane 1004. I feel like Spokane is ignoring the great deal of stories we have in our culture about talking animals. Clearly, this is not a realistic depiction of animals, but the first one isn't also. The narrator makes a lot of assumptions in that movie about the motivations of the animals, and because he's the narrator, we're supposed to believe that that's the case, right? So in this one, the characters actually have volition and they have will, whereas in that one, it's us saying what the animals are doing. I mean, obviously, we are saying that in this movie too because those voices are written and those animals are acting. Think about this: every movie that you see where a dog or a cat is, even though they're acting, they're not acting. Like, that's just the dog existing in its life, which is pretty interesting to think about. Okay, here's a positive one, and often I find that the positive reviews of movies, even movies I like, are kind of unhinged, which goes to show you that you can have an opinion about everything, and this is, I'm talking about myself too. That doesn't mean that you're necessarily right. 10 out of 10. Can a film about talking animals really make you cry? In this case, yes. As a young child, I watched this movie many times over. Yeah, me too. Enjoying the silly humor of three animals and being completely sucked in by the sappy message. Many years later, I again sat down to watch it with my younger sister and again found myself transported back to my childhood, even to the point of brushing back tears at the final touching scene. It is very obvious why this film was bound to be a hit with children. Almost all children love animals, the humor is at a level that even young ones can laugh at, and the three protagonists are ones that all children can identify with. The aged golden retriever Shadow, the frisky pup Chance, and the sharp-tongued and witty cat Sassy. Surprisingly, however, the film will also both touch and entertain viewers who have graduated elementary school. The characters aren't too cheesy to make you roll your eyes. The plot isn't so animal rights leaning like Free Willy, for example, that it will make your stomach turn. And I think that the simple love between a child and his or her pet is something that we can still relate to long after we've grown up. If you're not dabbing at your eyes, or at least seeing through some mist as the end credits roll, then the fault just may lie within your cynical self. So I would highly recommend this movie for family viewing of any and all kinds. For your child, it will be a wonderful adventure, while at the same time you'll be transported back to a time when life was much more innocent childhood. And that's from Zycon Dog from 2017. And I appreciate the fact that you like the movie. I appreciate that. But you didn't like... I haven't seen Free Willy. It's on the list. I don't know if it's a good movie or not, but the problem you have with Free Willy is the fact that you think it's too animal rights leaning. Like, you really think that big whales should be kept in captivity for your own amusement? Like, come on. Like, you claim to be an animal lover, but you're like, yeah, pets are fine. I can love those animals, but big, intelligent ocean creatures, that's where I draw the line. Okay, that's just a ridiculous opinion from that person. I'm curious what Free Willy... I think Free Willy is a Disney film. I think so. It feels like a Disney film. So, yeah, I probably will watch it again someday. I don't remember liking it as much as I liked Homeward Bound, but, you know, I grew up in the age of VCRs and tapes, so we had Homeward Bound and we had Free Willy. And I remember Free Willy came with this little, like, whale kind of necklace, little plastic thing that I thought was cool. Or maybe I didn't. I don't remember. Maybe it came when I was pretending to be too cool for such things. But secretly, I thought it was cool. Anyway, this movie, not Free Willy, but Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey, great movie. Please check it out. Tell me what you think in the comments on the YouTube channel or on the podcast channel on Spotify, wherever you can write a comment. I'll probably see it. So check it out. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.